Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Friday, April 30th, 2021. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Everyone who's listening on the audio-only version, hopefully you guys are out there having a good run or getting some work done today. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully it's the weekend for you now as well. And hopefully it's going to be a good one, full of running. That's what I'm hoping for this weekend. Let's see how everyone's doing here today. We got Jeff Elliott says 2 in a row. He's got some kind of a record. Good to see you again, Jeff. And David Prabhu says, good afternoon. Happy Friday, run family. Awesome. Ines says, hey, Kofuzi and everybody, 4 miles in zone 2 with Pip after work today. That's nice. Does Pip get bored if you're on zone 2? Does Pip just like to race? Yeah. Is she just pulling the whole time or what? I wonder. All right, let me fix this camera a little bit. I adjusted it, and now I think it's too low because then my face is in like the caption part. So let me see how I fix that. Is that better? I think that's a little bit better. All right, guys. Philip Bourne says, good day, everyone. I recovery progressing fine. Running straight towards the sunset wasn't an issue anymore during today's evening run. Well, that's good. You know, I'm a little bit nervous about LASIK myself. It's something that I definitely want to do at some point. My mom had it and I would like to get it done too, but I just feel like my eyes are, what happened? Hey, make sure you drink a lot of water, okay? All right, guys, it looks like I lost the camera. Are you guys still hearing me? Am I still on? I don't know why I lost the camera. The camera's here. There we go. Camera's back. All right. Sorry about that. I was telling my daughter to drink water. I don't know if you guys heard that. I don't know if I was still on. But okay. I think we're back. All right. About the LASIK, I'm worried about getting it because I feel like my eyes are just getting really, really bad, like just progressively getting worse. Although my prescription has been stable. But I'm just worried that that I'm going to go, I am actually worried that I'm going to go blind in old age. Probably, I mean, like, doesn't happen to everyone, but I feel like I'm going to lose my eyesight as I get older. And I'm worried that I probably, you don't get to do it multiple times, right? So I feel like I'm going to save that for later. I don't know. That's kind of like when my father-in-law he had double knee replacements. He put it off for a really long time because he's like, I don't want to go through it twice. And those things have a shelf life. So I'm like, all right, okay. So I can understand that. All right. Leona says, hey, co-fan, last day of April, 13-miler day to avoid the crowds. Nice. Okay. Yep. That's right. I'll tell you later. Okay. Yeah, she's pointing at the calendar, and there's like an entry in there, and she thinks it's someone's birthday. It's tax day. That's what's in there. I just didn't have time to explain it to her. Yeah. All right. And then I got a last day of April 13-miler. Nice. Today, I think here's the thing. Also about April 30th today. Today is I think the last day to sign up. I think, right? I think there's still time. Last day to sign up to try to get into the Peachtree Road Race, AJC's Peachtree Road Race, the 10-miler that happened to share a lot of the same course as the Atlanta U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials. And so there's a lottery system involved because they're going to do it over 2 days. So I've been thinking about signing up for the lottery, but most likely the family will be in Iowa. We're usually in Iowa, if not for the summer, but we're usually at least there for a couple of weeks, that part of July. So it'd be taken away from family time for sure. So I'm not sure. I got to run it by my wife, see if it's okay to sign up for it, but we'll see. I think today's the last day. All right. I'm going to scroll down, guys. Sorry if I missed your comment in the chat. If you had a running question, especially if you're new, if you have a running question, I hate to make you repeat yourselves, but feel free to put it in there again. I just got to catch up. I'm way behind you guys in the chat, so I'm going to try to catch up, stay a little bit more contemporaneous with you guys. Me says, have you tried the new Brooks Trace? No, I've never tried that. I don't think I'm not familiar with that one. I don't know what that is. And we got Mika Kataya saying from Mika Kataya, right? It says evening from Finland. Another day, another fartlek. Did you know they were devised to break the dominance of Finnish long distance runners in the 20s and 30s? I did not know that that's how they were devised. Yeah. I don't know the origin of the fartlek, to be honest with you. So that's an interesting fact. All right. Martha says, Kofuzi, are you mostly nearsighted? When you get older, it reverses. Both our eyes have changed to less power in our recent refractions. LASIK can make cataract surgery more complex when that time comes. Yeah. I can't see. Well, right now, my eyesight's pretty bad, so like I can't see much of anything without my glasses on. But it started out I couldn't see. I never can tell the difference between what's nearsighted and farsighted. I couldn't see things that were close. Is what I had. Well, I couldn't see anything. But things that were far away were harder to see. I could see things that were close fine, and then gradually that got what I could see closely, like got closer and closer to my face. If that makes sense. I'm confused. I don't know. I just have really bad eyesight. But if it makes cataract surgery more complicated, then that might be something I have to consider too. Yeah. All right. Something that I wanted to do today. Quick question here. Grizzly21 says, "Cubs or White Sox?" I live by Wrigley Field. We could see it from our place. But I love watching baseball there. But I lived in St. Louis for a long time during the Mark McGwire home run era. So I became a big Cardinals fan at the time. And growing up, I watched the Mets. So like the Doc Good and Darryl Strawberry, Gary Carter, Mookie Wilson Mets, championship Mets from the 80s. So like, so like being a Cubs fan is kind of hard. My kids are Cubs fans. My wife's a Cubs fan, but I'm not a Cubs fan. So I don't really watch a lot of baseball anymore these days, but I feel much more comfortable rooting for the White Sox than the Cubs. All right. Mark Soundcheck says, "Hey, Mike, it's been a while since I ran the Lakefront Trail. Wonder if it's busy early in the morning. Trying to decide if I wear a mask the entire time or not. It's getting more busy as the weather improves in the mornings, but like, anything before like 10 or 11 is going to be pretty chill. So that's really nice. Although like on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, there's a lot of all the running groups are getting together again in pretty big numbers, which is still a little bit concerning for me, but I mean, that's, I think, more me getting used to things. I don't wear a mask while I'm out there anymore, given the new CDC guidance. I have to wear a mask to get in and out of my building because there's lots of common areas and common spaces and stairwells or elevators and things like that. And it's still a rule within the building and common spaces, you should have one on. And so I have to have one, but kind of once I start running, I don't wear one. And for the most part, a lot of people have already like kind of adapted to the new CDC guidance. A lot of people in this area are fully vaccinated. And so that's the other thing to consider. There's still some people that are out there running with their masks or covering up when they pass people too. But, the guidance is there from the CDC. So it's weird for me, but I'm getting used to it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm still getting used to it. So I don't actually know what the like the county rules are right now. But like when I'm walking around the neighborhood, I just leave it on. Like I went to the grocery store today and I walked in front of the grocery store with the mask on. It's not something that bothers me, but yeah. All right. Hopefully that gives you some guidance. All right. Here's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to do like a mini mukbang today, mainly because I didn't want to wait anymore to try some of these things. I didn't want to wait till next Monday. So we're getting like kind of a double mukbang today. And today's kind of be like a hodgepodge. So I'm going to try three things. One is I want to eat this. This came with the Eugene Marathon and the virtual race swag box. So it's a maple glazed donut, 1 bar, 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. So like it'll be interesting to see what this tastes like. I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten lunch yet. The other thing that I wanted to try, because I want to take it on a run for the weekend, but I wanted to like taste it with you guys first, is I got these from UCAN. I bought these myself. It's using their super starch. 15 grams of super starch energy. I've been enjoying eating those UCAN bars before a run. And I feel like, oh yeah, kind of keeps me nicely topped up. So I thought maybe trying one of these as a gel would be interesting. This is really big. It's a big pack. It's a very big, it's 1.87 ounces, but it's large. There's a lot here. It's like the size of a Univet Elite Gel, like the doubles. So it's like, yeah, a lot. And then the third thing that I'll try today is Mary Ruth's. I just saw this like on Amazon, and I was like, thought I'd buy it. So vegan collagen boosting gummies. My wife bought, I forget what brand of it. It's collagen powder, and it's just disgusting. It creates these little like, it's like eating like it has like little wisps that remind me of like egg drop soup. It creates those like collagen wisps. It's like if I were to eat like if I were to drink the liquid from like a crock pot, if you had cooked like a shoulder of ham, it's just weird. It's just really weird. So like we can't get over that. So I thought I'd maybe try some of this. The main ingredient is L-lysine in terms of like the nutritional content. There's some vitamin C in it, some fiber, not a lot, vitamin A, vitamin C, but L-lysine is like the main thing that's in here. So I don't know how good it will be to boost my collagen production, but it's going to be better than the zero amount of collagen powder that I'm currently taking, because that collagen powder is so gross, right? Leona says, yes, collagen powder diluted is disgusting to drink. Yeah, it's just nasty. And it says the UCAN gels were talked about on Trail Runner Nation, said to have slow release carbs. Yeah, that's what the super starch energy thing is for. So like, if it can kind of like, instead of having spikes, which is what kind of I used to like really enjoy about a lot of gels, if it could just keep me like tapped up, I think that's probably the more prudent way to go about it, So like we'll see that one soon. And Chris Larson says, in several reviews, you mentioned that you're not sure if you're loading the carbon plate enough to get the intended return based on your size weight. If you don't mind, what's your weight and height? Yeah, I have no problem telling you about it. But the main thing that I'm talking about is like, I don't think I'm strong enough, right? So if you think about like, like I'm running anywhere between, if I'm sprinting like an all-out sprint, I might get to like 200, 210 steps per minute. But still, like if you were to compare me to someone else, let's say that's much smaller than me, like say like Seth, for example. If he runs like 180 steps per second, like the amount of distance he'll cover in a stride is just so much more. And it has nothing to do with our size and height, right? It's not weight and height. It's about like the power that his leg muscles can put out. So that's like the main thing that I'm talking about. His legs are just stronger and springier than mine are. As like any other like elite athlete would be. So that's mainly what I'm talking about. But my height, I just weighed myself last night. My height is 5'10". I haven't checked that recently, but hopefully that still remains the same. And my weight is 139. So that's a little bit light for me to not be in like I'm not in like a marathon training block. So it's a little bit on the light side for me. But yeah, so there's that. All right. Let's try some of these. Let's start with the gummies. You could take up to 3 a day, but says take one at a time. The childproofing is outsmarting me. I can't get it. There we go. All right. Got some scissors here so we can get them open. They're supposed to be.
That's during a deadline.
Yeah, it's a deadline. It's tax day. That's what's on that calendar. All right, so they're all supposed to be watermelon flavor. They're cute little gummies. That one has a dog hair on it. From my hand. That wasn't from inside the package. All right.
The next page is going to be this. Is going to be.
Does not taste like watermelon, but it also does not taste like animal collagen either. So that's always a good thing.
This would
yes,
be
that's the next month, honey.
Day.
Yep. You want to go show your sister? Or show mommy? All right. They taste okay. I wouldn't eat them as candy, but they're not candy. But they're much easier to take than I would say drinking collagen. So yeah, this is one of those things I'll probably put in the bathroom right next to the vitamin D. I kind of like every time I like wash my hands, I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably take one of those. Because that's what I do with the vitamin D. I take it like anywhere between 0 and 3 times a day. Probably would do with that. Not bad. All right. Sue N says, I've stopped losing as much hair since I started the collagen I've been using. Shin bone feels better too. I read a lot about that as I was like looking at actually I was looking at the comments for this particular product. A lot of people in the comments are like, my hair grows like crazy now. And I'm like, well, I don't need my hair to grow more, and I know like collagen isn't going to like make this receding hairline any better, but I'm like, well, maybe it'll help prevent any. I don't think it works that way, but yeah, I don't know. I have read that it could make your nails stronger, which maybe that might help my feet. And then your helps with hair growth as well. So we'll see if it actually does boost collagen production. Ben Dover says, "Why do the Pegasus 38 colorways suck?" Yeah, I'm not like you know what, I did do the Nike by You. So it's I put in an order a little while ago for that, and you could do it so that they're like half, like each shoe could be half of one color, and that, like, so you can make it like gray on one side and like white on the other on each shoe. And it's just like, why do people want that? I don't understand why people want that. And you know, like, I think they went very safe. The launch colorways for the Pegasus are always like a little bit boring. So like then like more fun and funky colors come out a little bit later in the year, but I don't know why, but yeah, I think that the launch colorways for the Pegasus are always like very safe, it seems. Yeah, Bryce Blankenfield says, I don't think I need my hair to grow more either. Look at that profile pic. Nice long hair there. Beautiful locks. Looks great. Luis Pacero says, can you show the product again? I need that for the hair. I don't think it's good. I can't promise that it's going to make your hair grow, but people say collagen helps with hair growth. All right. And it says, I think the ship is sailed from my hairline as far as supplements go. Yeah, my mom's like, saw palmetto. And I'm like, okay. All right. Ben Dover says, who's your favorite professional distance runner? You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure who my favorite is right now. Yeah. Trying to think. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I don't have a favorite professional distance runner. It's probably Suguru Osako. Even before he had a YouTube channel, I'd probably say it's him. I don't know. But other than that, it's not. I don't really like. I guess I don't really have a favorite. So, Salam Hafez says, enough. Best non-plated shoe. Best non-plated shoe. Non-plated shoe. Hyperion Tempo. Because I think, well, Endorphin Speed would probably count as a plated shoe, right? Even it's got a TPU like, or as a nylon infused plate, carbon infused nylon plate. That was a Zoomfly one. It just has a nylon plate. So if I can count the Endorphin Speed, I'll say Endorphin Speed. If not the Endorphin Speed, I'll say Hyperion Tempo. It's a great shoe. Martha says, Mike, if you're not putting on sunscreen, even just a space as small as your hands, you may not need vitamin D supplements, and certainly not a lot. Plus, you probably get a fair amount in your diet. You know, I haven't yet. Usually, like in the wintertime, I don't put on sunscreen, which drives my wife crazy. And once it gets warmer, I start putting it on. So I haven't been putting on sunscreen lately. But even then, my vitamin D is always low, Martha. So that's the thing. I am going to the doctor. I have a doctor's appointment in a couple of weeks, and we'll check it again. But like my doctor's always been like, yeah, just take a vitamin D supplement or a multivitamin. So I always just kind of have been doing that. I don't want to overdose on the vitamin D, but like it just seems like weird that like I'm outside for like 7 to 9 hours a week. I should have plenty of that, and I drink lots of milk and I eat lots of cheese. So I feel like dietarily, if you're getting it if it comes in dairy, I feel like it should be, there. But yeah, so I don't know why it's low, but it always just seems to be chronically a little bit low. AD says, I take organic collagen from grass-fed beef bone broth for alopecia. I also take amla, Indian gooseberry, and bingaraj powder in shakes and apply to scalp in yogurt. Really? Like a paste you put on your scalp? Oh, interesting. I remember, so my cousin came over from Korea and lived with us when he was like, we would have been like 11 or 12. And he lived with my family for a little while. And I remember he was really big into baseball. And because like, even though he didn't speak English very well, like, he could connect with people through baseball. So he really loved playing baseball. And he was really thankful for how patient his coach was with him, even though his coach didn't speak any Korean at all. Making sure he got playing time and understood what was going on and all that stuff. And I remember one day he was watching a commercial, and this was the year that like the spray on hair, like, you could spray it in the back if you had like a balding spot in there. You could have that. And he's like, oh, we should probably get that for my coach. He's like, I think my coach would really like that. He needs it for sure. We should get some. And like, we had to have like a 10-minute conversation with him about like why like that would probably, it's well-intentioned, but probably wouldn't be the best idea. All right. Michael Wu says, are you planning on picking up the Rebel 2? I will pick up the Rebel 2 as soon as like the black colorway comes out. It's still on Notify Me. Like on the New Balance site, you can get the habanero color. That's the only color that you can get now. I don't want that color. I want the black one. Jamie's got the black one already. I want the color that Jamie has. So I want that one, and it's not out yet. I don't know why they're waiting, but they're waiting. But I got plenty of shoes. I just got a bunch of shoes in. It's going to be an exciting couple of weeks. So I'm plenty busy. I got plenty of shoes to run in. So if they're not like, no one from New Balance wants to send it to me. I haven't reached out, but like no one's like, hey, you should try these. At least not from New Balance. So I'm like, oh, I'll wait. I'm happy to wait. So I'll wait. But I'm really looking forward to it though. Dr. Funk 1216 says, Nixon in the second channel, by the way, has some good stuff on it. I like his Canada Talks more than his main channel. People have been saying that to me, and I don't like his main channel very much. I don't think it's targeted to me, and it kind of rubs me the wrong way. But people have said his second channel is better. And I'm like, why can't he make the first channel just be more like the second channel then? Like, and not be off-putting to people. I don't know. I don't get that. Video says that, all right, my mouse froze. Video says, Red wants that Tiny Meb bounds over 6 feet every step during a marathon. Now, that's power. Yeah, I can't imagine how bouncy that guy is. He's got to be super bouncy, right? Mike Daniel said, you inspired me to start a daily running channel. Much love, brother. Awesome, Mike. I'll have to look for your channel once we get out of the live stream. I'll put it in the description. All right, good job, Mike. Awesome. Rasak on Wednesday said, have we learned recently that some meds can drop vitamin D levels? I don't know that. I didn't know that. All right, let's get to some more food. I want to eat. All right. Eat this donut flavored, maple glazed donut flavored protein bar. As I'm opening it, and it says, when are we getting a Lone Peak 5 video? Didn't I already do the video on the Lone Peak? I did the first run, and now I think I only got like 20 miles in on it so far. But I think I did did I not do an intro video for that one? I think I did a first run video for that. I think I did it on the same route that I just do out here, which is out, and I run up the hill up and down a whole bunch of times. But I think I did that one. I'll double, if I haven't, I'll do one, but I think I've already done one. I think I got some more trail shoes coming up, so there'll be some comparisons coming up as well too. All right, for this one, 230 calories for this one. It's a one brand. The name of the flavor is called Glazed and Amused. And 230 calories, 8 grams of fat, 150 milligrams of salt, 23 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein. It's a lot. All right. And it is manufactured on the same equipment that processes peanuts and tree nuts for those of you with allergy concerns. All right. Oh, I was not expecting this. It's like cream colored. I thought it would be more colored like the donut on the packaging, but no, it's more like did you guys ever have like frosted animal crackers? Ever have that? I used to eat those all the time in college. Terrible for you, but I would eat like 2 handfuls of them for breakfast every day. This is good. I'm getting a lot of maple flavor. Yeah, a lot of maple flavor. But the texture, like this frosting, it's Yeah, almost like a candy bar. I mean, it's basically a candy bar, but good. Not too sticky or chewy. So, yeah, this is good. This is good. I thought it was going to have like a real strong like sugar alcohol to it, which it does a little bit. I think the maple flavor kind of masks it up a bit in a good way. So, yeah, good. I like this. I'm definitely eating this whole thing. Nick one says, bruh, I never answered my questions. I'm disheartened. Goodbye. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't see it. I don't answer questions as quickly when I'm eating stuff. So I'm looking up, trying to see where Nick one is. That chat came in at 1:25, so a minute ago. I'm trying to think. Where is it? Did anyone else see it? I didn't see it. I'm looking for it. I'm looking. Yeah, I'm going back to 109 and I don't see it. So I'm really sorry, Nick. Sorry about that. Recycle on Wednesday says, not really on topic, but I got my second shot yesterday. Awesome. Let's get a cowbell for the second shot. And I walked 8 miles. No one tell my PT. My legs haven't fallen off yet. All good things. All good things. Great. Well done. H. Lee says, hi, Kofuzi. Train for my first 50K. Do I need speed training if I don't care about how fast I finish? I would say yes. I wouldn't say not a ton, but I would make sure that you have maybe once a week where you're getting in something where you're working a little bit harder. And something between marathon pace and 10K pace, like threshold, maybe a threshold workout, but if not a threshold workout, a long stretch where you're doing like marathon pace for a while. That's what I'm doing with one of my workouts a day. One of my workouts a week is to have a long stretch at marathon pace, just to get your body used to like a long sustained effort. Because I mean, I don't know what your 50K is going to be like in terms of elevation, but the way I kind of approach, what happened? I didn't move it. It's right there. She was looking for something. So the way I think about like trail races is that they're a little bit different than road racing, where with road racing, you're kind of like keep, even keel, like just the same level of effort the entire time. Maybe there's a little bit of uphill, maybe a little bit downhill, but be even. With the 50K, the one that I'm doing, there's a lot of up and down. So it's more like stochastic is the word that comes to mind. It's more bursts. And so I feel like that's when you might it's okay to have times where you're like recovering a little bit, but also like bursts, like going up a giant climb where you're going to want to be able to dig a little bit deeper and get your body used to recovering fast while still staying on your feet and going and continuing going. So that's where I feel like a threshold workout or a longer, like if you got like a 15-mile run, 20-mile run, putting like 5-10 miles of that at marathon pace or marathon effort. Doesn't have to be your ultimate goal race pace for a marathon, but like what you think you could do a marathon in today, like moderate effort, putting that in there, I think that would help. Brian Paul says, and someone else mentioned the Nova Blast 2 as well. So this will be a response to that too. Brian says, have you heard about the Nova Blast 2? The Believe in the Run guys talked a bit about it on the latest issue of the Drop. I have lots of thoughts about it, but there's an embargo, so I can't talk about it. But it's coming. Keel Condrick says, do you have any tips or advice on how to work on running form by yourself? The way to work on it is to do drills. It's something that I would like to incorporate more of into my routine. I think that there's lots of stuff on Instagram, people that are doing running form drills all the time. One of my favorite Instagram accounts is this guy who runs triathletes. I don't know what part of Europe he's from, to be honest. But it's like Fabi Horn Tri or something like that. I'll have to find the link for you guys at some point. But he does tons of form videos. So I've been getting a lot of like form cues from these dudes on Instagram. And I'm like, I think these guys are right. It makes sense what you guys are talking about. But yeah, a lot of things like the A skips, the B skips, butt kicks, high knees, like those kinds of drills that teach. Now, I think they're also good for as warm-ups because it gets you really loosened up. But I also think it's good for kind of like teaching muscle memory. So those are the kinds of things that I would focus on. Also working on just general leg strength / mobility, I think also helps with your form, because then you're strengthening all like the individual leg muscles that you might need throughout your gait cycle. And so that's another thing that I would make sure that you're doing. This is real good. You know what this could use though? I think it could use something that there's little things that are crunchy in this bar. I don't know if I can focus on it. See, there's like little bits that are like kind of crunchy. I feel like if it had more crunchy things, that'll make it even better. But I guess that wouldn't make it very glazed donut-y, right? But by the end of this thing, it's like the sweetness is killing me. It's like too sweet. But I guess you're looking, if you bought the glazed donut, you probably want it to be this sweet. I could use something to cut it a little bit. Good thing I got my afternoon coffee. Tony Bone says, I made the mistake of not doing speed work for my first ultra. Coop advocates for speed stuff still, and I agree. Yeah, is it Coopcast? Is that his podcast? I listen to it like occasionally, not every episode, but occasionally. Yeah. I think it's necessary because one, I think it's going to help, like I was talking about with like the bursts when you're going up and down hills, but also I just think that it for race specific training, it's going to help you like with that spring in your step. You know how I was talking about like comparing me versus say Seth, for example, like each of one of our strides is going to be a different distance. And that's that spring in your step, that leg power. That's what that speed work gives you as well as aerobic benefits too. Sam Gazinski said, any tips on being just one to actually go to bed at a normal time? Really working on sleep to improve my recovery. That's tough. I'm really good at waking up early. I'm not very good at going to bed early. Yeah, what I do doesn't always work. Most of the time it doesn't work. But I set alarms to go to bed because like I know it's going to take me a certain amount of time between the time I'm like, all right, shut everything down, brush teeth, change clothes, all that stuff, get ready for bed, do the night time routine kind of stuff, help the kids get wound down for bed, all that kind of thing, which I don't always participate in as much as I should with that. But I set an alarm. Just like I set an alarm to get up, I set an alarm to go to bed. Kesey said, I'm starting running the dirt gravel road next to the irrigation canals. What's your favorite shoe for dirt with various amounts of gravel? There's lots of good ones for that. I love the Ultra Superior, Hoka Torrent 2, and the Peg Trail 2. Those would be probably like 3 really great options. Adam Steve says, Mike, you often talk about your weird experience with the Freedom 3. Have you seen the marketing for the Freedom 4? They're calling it the Road to Gym shoe. That's weird. I saw an ad for it the other day. I didn't read the copy for it. I just looked at the picture. But I'm excited to try. I'll definitely give it another shot. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to try it. We'll see. All right, let's get to the last thing for today. I'm going to need some coffee to kind of mellow. There's so much sweetness in that bar. It doesn't taste like a lot of the bars that have a lot of protein in them. They taste like chemically. I don't know if it's like the sugar alcohols in it. There's always something sort of weird aftertaste to it. That is one of the better ones of the bars that have like more than 10 grams of protein in it. But I don't know that I would buy a case of that flavor. It's too sweet. All right, speaking of sweet, I guess we're gonna try this, the UCAN Edge Fuel to Go It's a lot of words. Orange. There's only one flavor. It's a new product for them, which I'm surprised that UCAN hasn't had like a gel already. Yeah. 15 grams of the super starch, which isn't a ton for how big this thing is. It's not a ton. Yeah, let's see. And I remember looking at it. Not a lot of salt either. 55 milligrams of sodium. But it says total carbs are 19 grams of carbs, which still doesn't seem like a lot for the size of this thing. Orange kind of like seems off-putting for a gel. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. I'm not going to eat this whole thing, but I'll do enough to taste it. Very orangey, super sweet. I thought it was going to be more like a creamsicle, but I'm getting a lot of orange flavor. Kind of nice. If you like Gatorade, like it reminds me of like the consistency is exactly like the Gatorade gels, like almost like watery. This is good. This is good. There's like a graininess to it too. I'm trying to like keep out of my mind the fact that their super starch is like a cornstarch, So like I'm trying to not think of it as like corn, but yeah, there's a flavor in here that I'm not sure. It tastes kind of like maybe there's not enough flavoring in it. I don't know. There's something about it that just kind of tastes like a lab concoction. Like they were like, this is really good for you. We haven't bothered flavoring it yet. There's like an edge to that, there's like an element to that, but yeah, we'll see. I'm going to bring it out for my long run. It'll be one of the gels I bring out for my long run this weekend, and I'll let you know how that goes. But taste wise, similar to the Gatorade gels, like the endurance gels. I'd say the Gatorade ones probably taste a little bit better, but I'll let you know over the weekend how it does in terms of actual performance. Martha says, Mike, if you get type 2 diabetes, is it our fault because of the Monday mukbangs? I don't think so. I don't think so. I guess every once in a while when I do like this next Monday might be a day where I do like I bought a sample pack of bars and I'm going to eat like 5 of them. That might be this Monday, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll be okay. Jay says, Mike, during the mukbangs, you should taste something and let us guess if you like it or not. That's funny. I don't think I have a very good poker face, so I think you guys will be able to get it right a lot. All right, Josh Greenberg says, hey, Co, I asked this yesterday, but it got lost in the flood of comments. Well, but would you consider reviewing the new Nike spikes? I know you do road stuff, but I haven't seen any quality reviews on YouTube like yours. I consider it, but I don't know. I think I would need to have like some sort of race where I was in this, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe if I were in a race, I would review it. I just don't use spikes that much. That's the thing. And so like, I have a hard enough time when I review trail shoes because I'm like, I don't really run a lot of trails, and like it's not like I'm in over my head. I can tell what I do and don't like, I guess. But then people are like, that's not really trails. That's not really a trail shoe. You don't like it because you're not a trail runner. And I'll be like, yeah, but you know what? I don't like it. That's what I could tell you. I may not have the same bona fides as everyone else, as other trail runners, but I could tell you as a road runner that's trying to run more trails, this shoe stinks, So it'd be kind of like that. Not that that's in and of itself as a reason not to do it, but I'd have to run in a lot of different spikes to have a basis to compare, because I haven't put on a pair of spikes in like 20 years. So that's the other thing to consider. So, yeah. And he says a blindfolded mukbang might be fun. I did think that might be a good idea. Maybe get like one of my daughters involved. I could blindfold myself and they'd have to give me food to eat. I thought that'd be kind of fun. And Chris Dyke says, I feel like the shoe tube community is lacking a good track shoe reviewer. That I think is true. Guys, who you guys should ask? Ask Jordan Thomas. Jordan Thomas he loves the mile. He's can run a sub 5 mile as like an adult. So like he loves doing track work. So I think he could do a really great track spike review. Yeah. I don't know if TFXC I wore a shirt yesterday, or I wore a shirt for the Adios Pro video. I don't know if he's still getting on the track anymore, but he used to do stuff on some track spikes. If I recall correctly, I'm trying to think, but yeah. I think like the difficult part of that is like all the people that I would really want to know what they think about like different sets of track spikes and stuff are all like collegiate runners or pro athletes. You know, I'm trying to think of like who I could think of that isn't like a sponsored athlete. So like who's out there that could like review a wide variety of brands. You know, I do think it's a hole. I think it's a gap in like the coverage, you know. You know what I would love to see? If like Malcolm Gladwell is like, I'm starting a YouTube channel, I'm going to review track spikes because no one else is reviewing track spikes. That'd be amazing. Adam Steve says, verdict on the Trader Joe's kimchi. I haven't tasted it yet because we're out of Shinramen. So I did go to Mariano's, the other grocery store in the neighborhood. It's like a regular grocery store that carries regular brands. And they're usually pretty solid on carrying Shinramen. But I went today and had no Shinramen. I picked up some Noguri, which is kind of close, but not as good. And I might do a kimchi battle because they have like, I think it's Fred's kimchi or something like that. They usually have that. And that's a pretty like, you know, above average. So that's a good one. So maybe I'll do a comparison at some point. Maybe that'll be the Monday mukbang, a kimchi battle. Recycle on Wednesday says, it's wild to me that people can run a mile in under 5. I can't do anything in under 5 minutes. Yeah. Like when I do my strides, like if I get under 5 minutes per mile pace in my strides, like that are 15 seconds long, I feel like, oh, that was a good one. I went fast on that one. I can't imagine holding that for an actual 5 minutes. It seems impossible. Shannon says the Run Gum guy. Yeah, I mean, but Nick Simmons was a Nike athlete for a long time. I think he still only runs in Nike stuff, right? Am I right on that or am I wrong on that? So I don't know. I mean, he would be a great. You know who else we should bug? We should bug Dr. Josh. Where is he here today? I think he's getting ready for his. Is he in Kansas City now? He must be in Kansas City by now. He's running in the Trial of Miles. He's running the 5,000, right? But he would be a good one too because he does spike up from time to time. But he only runs in Nike, so that'd be another one where it'd be a little hard because we need him to branch out to other brands. Robert Hodges here says, "What's going on? Good to be back in the live stream. Good to see you again, Robert. How's it going?" All right. Yeah. Let's see what else we got in here. Recycle on Wednesday says, I have a bit of unstructured time in the morning. Every day, no matter what, I was staying up late to reclaim part of the day for myself. Okay. I could see that. That makes sense. Yeah, like for us at our house, we've been having a little bit of a hard time getting to bed on time. Like it's been creeping later and later. So yesterday I was like at dinner, I was like, guys, we're going to bed at the regular time today. And so like I had to like do a reset, you know. But yeah. If like in the summers and like usually when we're at grandma's house, you know, like over like winter break or Christmas, like that time just like it just creeps deeper and deeper into the evening. I after a while I just go to bed first. So I'm like, whatever, you guys stay up, I'm going to bed. But I like to try and keep everyone a little bit more on a schedule because I think sleep's important. You got to do it. Oh, Lewis says Nick was sponsored with Brooks. He was? Why do you think he was on Nike yet? Maybe it's because he was the Nike singlet from the Olympics. I didn't know he was sponsored with Brooks. I had that all wrong. Wow, so wrong. Yeah, Brian says Seth would be a good for Spikes reviews. Is he doing a lot of track work though? I'd be interested to hear what he says about Spikes. Frank says Dr. Josh doesn't like to mess around with what he's running in because he thinks it is bad for you somehow. I can understand that. He's got different goals, you know, so he wants to stay performing. For me, I'm like, running goals are cool, but I also like to run in a lot of shoes. So it's like, I'm not sure what the goal is sometimes. And Chris Dyke says, you're right, Co. You're right, though, Co. It's difficult to find a recognizable young name that isn't already sponsored. We need just a guy that likes to run track a lot type. Yeah. Who is that? I don't know. You know who I would love it if they started a YouTube channel? Nick Willis. I would love it if Nick Willis started a YouTube channel. He's like he's my age. He's still wicked fast. But he seems like such a nice guy. Have you guys seen there's a YouTube channel? I don't even understand it. It's called is it Very Nice Guys Track Club or Nice Guys Track Club? Hobbs, what's his name? Is it Hobbs Kessler? The high schooler that's super fast that runs with Nick Willis from time to time. I think it's his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if it's his or not or whose it is, but there's been a couple of episodes and I'm just like, oh, is this kid really doing a YouTube channel? This is awesome. I think it's amazing when like the high schoolers do the YouTube channels. And I'm like, it's also so fraught with potential problems because of the way the NCAA approaches like YouTube revenue and violating your amateur status and being an NCAA violation. So like, yeah. But like, yeah, I'm interested to see like where that goes. But on the other hand, I'm like, like I wouldn't want anyone to ever judge me based on any kind of like video content that I were to make in high school, So I'm also like, I'm not the audience for that. Maybe if it's a high schooler's YouTube channel, and I don't, I think like it's also good for like kids to have their space. You know what I mean? So, but it's interesting. It's definitely a channel that I'm keeping my eye on. All right, everyone says Seth doesn't like running on the track, so maybe he wouldn't be good. Frank says it as well. Ken and Frank are saying Seth says he always hates track work. I don't like it either. I gravitate toward it when my feet feel beat up because it's nice and soft. But other than that, I don't. I always feel like whenever you're on a track, there's always a headwind. I mean, not the whole way because you're running in a circle, but I always feel like there's always a strong headwind one way. Salam Hafez says, thank you, Mike, for all honest pot. Well, thanks. Thanks so much, Salam. Lou says, Jamie would be a good track runner, but he likes to jog only. I think he would. I think he would be great if he put on some spikes. That would be another good person to do it. I mean, he already has all the connections too, so he could get the spikes if he wanted them. But like, I don't know. Like, I was listening to the Doctors of Running when they were talking to someone from Hoka, like a senior product developer or something like that. And she was saying that like spikes are like basically just lose money for every running brand. They have to make them, but they're super expensive to make. And like, they're not like daily trainers where you go through a couple a year. They're like, you buy a pair of spikes and you're set for a while because you just don't spend a ton of time in them. So like, and yeah, I don't know. It just makes it difficult. And frankly, I wouldn't watch a spikes review. I mean, I probably would watch it, but I don't know. I don't see myself watching a lot of like spikes reviews. Just like I don't watch a lot of trail shoe reviews. I watch some, but not a lot. Yeah, it'd be funny though if you could have like basically everyone review the same track spike and have it like give one to me and I'd be like fumbling my way around a track. Let's get Ginger Runner in there. Let's get Billy Yang. I know Billy Yang doesn't do shoe reviews, but I think it'd be funny. Let's get Emily Heller. We should all do a track spike review. That would be kind of funny. Maybe just one of us makes a video. It'd be a giant collab. That'd be kind of fun. Brian Cow says, Kofuzi, do you watch anime? I don't. I don't watch anything really. I watch like the news like compulsively, but and I love local news. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't watch any anime. My daughter was watching, and it was so good. It was Legend of Korra. That was amazing. I only saw like bits and pieces of it here and there. Whenever I was like, whenever she's on the iPad a lot, I like make sure I kind of check in and make sure just keep tabs on what she's watching. But some of the battle sequences were amazing. And then what else was I watching that was really good? I never really get into them, but it's whatever my daughter watches. But that's one that I remember fairly recently. And then she got into like was it Last Airbender Avatar? That one didn't seem as cool to me. I was more intrigued with Legend of Korra. I like that one, but I don't really watch a lot of anime. Oh, Bryce says you can now make money on your name in the NCAA. Is that true? I didn't know that. That changes a lot of things. Oh, that's great. I mean, it's about time. It's about time. I was listening to the Drop. Someone was mentioning the Drop podcast, the Believe in the Run podcast, and they were talking to Potts. No. Who were they talking to? They were a British marathoner. And she was saying that like in college, you know, she was signed to a Nike contract while she was at college in the UK. Charlotte Purdue, is that who it was? And that's totally allowed over there. It's like normal. And I'm like, wow, that makes complete sense. That's great. And then you think about like, you know, just the way that like even for even bigger sports like basketball and football, like just how much like they've perpetuated this system in the name of amateurism, I guess, and avoiding exploitation. I mean, I talk about like just absolute like irony there, or just hypocrisy. And the way that like the universities are just making money hand over fist, and the athletes are like, well, you got an education, so there you go. So it's just ridiculous. So I'm glad that's changing. It's about time. All right, let's get a couple more and then I'm going to get going for today. Salim Hafez says, is the Saucony Endorphin Speed the best shoe ever made? I don't know, but it's good. It's really, really good. I have a hard time with questions like ever made, because then you get like in the context of like historical context, you know, like how do you evaluate my favorite shoe of all time, which is the Pegasus 33 Shield. It's not better than the Endorphin Speed. And there's a lot of sentimental value in it for me, you know, but like, is the Saucony Endorphin Speed for what it was when it came out? There's no way that's more important of a shoe or more different than everything else that was out there than the first Vaporfly 4%. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's hard. I mean, that's what makes those questions interesting to talk about, but I do really like the Endorphin Speed. It's a great shoe. Martha says, if I decide to get into Masters track competition, maybe I'll look into spikes and review them. I mean, I'm going to have to get a pair. That reminds me, I got to start looking for some Masters steeplechase races. If I do, then we'll see some spike reviews. Then we'll talk about some steeple spikes. It'll be amazing. I don't know how I'm going to train for that. I have a hard enough time just finding hills to train on. How am I going to find a place to practice steep? I mean, I guess I think I'm pretty good on the water obstacle, but there's nothing where I'm jumping into like a deep thing of water. Like, you know, I don't know. So, yeah. I'm gonna try to do that. I gotta seek that out. Are those meets back? I'm gonna find some Masters. I'm gonna find a Masters steeplechase. I gotta do it. Frank, are there specialized shoes for steeplechase? No, I think that you probably just run in like whatever they make for the 5K racers. You probably just run in that. But like, I don't know. Like, can you show up and just like I wore some Metaspheed Skies for today? You know, I don't know if that would work. I'm sure it would. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it for today, guys. Yeah, I had a great time talking to you guys. Tomorrow's video, it'll be a new shoe that I'm running in, so I'm pretty excited about it. I have to make the video. I ran in it today. It's going to be pretty cool. You'll see that tomorrow morning. And then in the afternoon, we'll do another live stream. I haven't figured out what time we're going to do it. I guess we got to decide what time we're going to do it. Yeah. Should we do the 3 p.m. for tomorrow? That usually works better on the weekends for me. All right. Let's do 3 p.m. for the weekend. Let's try that. 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. So not 1 o'clock. Oh, it's going to mess me up going back and forth. But we'll try 3 p.m. for the live stream for tomorrow. 3 p.m. Central Time. So not the same time as today. I'm going to remember that. I'll put the reminder out real early so you guys can see it on YouTube. All right. So hopefully I'll see you guys then. In the meantime, have a good run for long run tomorrow, guys. and I'll see you in the next